Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and hello friends, it's Debsy, and the place to be, it's Debsy. Woo, whoop, boop. That's me, Debsy. That always gets away from me. So, hello, happy Monday. I hope everybody had a great day, not just a good day. Last night, it was Monday night, so I was watching the Bachelorettes, and we're gonna talk some Bachelorettes right now. So let's get into it. Okay, so last night it was hometowns. I'm gonna go through Gabby's, gonna go through Rachel's, and this was a night. So first off, Gabby was visiting New Orleans and she was visiting Jason. She had met his dad first and then met the mother, his mother and his sister, I think, and his father, because they had divorced. His father was so sweet, like literally. Let's put him in people that should be protected. Like honestly, like let's protect Gabby's grandfather. Let's also protect Jason's father. Very sweet, very welcoming. They then went over to meet his mother and his sister. His mother and his sister were like, I'm surprised that they even had to say hello to Gabby because they were like, so like just, oh my God, we love her, especially the sister. Everything was going good, but then she had said that she's falling in love with him. He told his mother that he can never see himself getting engaged at this point. However, it could change. Now listen, I'm gonna tell you, I can see it from both sides of the story, from both sides of this, because they've only known each other for 5 weeks. What are you supposed to just propose to someone? But on the other side of this coin, it's a reality TV show. That's what they're expecting you to do. They're expecting you to propose. So, and then his mother had said, are you going to have a talk with her? Yes, I'm going to talk to her about it later. Later's going to come next week because he didn't say anything to her. I don't know. Seems to me like he's leading her along now, which is bullshit. So there was that. Next for Gabby, she went to see Johnny in Palm Beach. Now, I'm going to tell you straight up. I don't know if everybody else is seeing all this chemistry with Johnny. I don't get it. I don't see that there's a lot of like chemistry as far as romantical or love, lovey-dovey. I see the two of them as just like great friends who can goof around. I don't see a lot of like chemistry, like love there. So she went over and met his family. They were like very outgoing. Like if out of all of the families that she met, I could see Gabby really fitting in well with that family, because as soon as they went in, they were just like cracking up, and they seemed to all have the same kind of, outgoing attitude and fun-loving nature that Gabby has. So now fast forward, he's talking to his mom, and he says that he doesn't see himself fully committing yet. And he says that to the mother, he says that to the dad, and the father was the one who was like, trying to kind of get him to see like, hey, maybe it's your time to fully commit. And I think with him, because he had said, because the dad had said something like, if it's that you're not there emotionally, I think you are. If it's because where you're at financially, he said something like you'll get there or something like that. So I wonder if what's holding him back is like his career or his finances. I don't know. But this is now the second man of Gabby's who is like, listen, I'm not ready for an engagement. So this is kind of crap. This is a crapshoot with her. So the next person that she visited, she was in New Jersey. She was visiting Eric. Eric had let it be known that his father has terminal his father has terminal cancer, and he was, years ago, he was only given like a year to live, and he had lived 3 years beyond that. So he was preparing her for, you know, visiting the family. So they walk in, and it's his dad, his mom, and his grandparents. Let me tell you what, under Let's Protect This Man, we got to put Eric's grandpap, because as soon as he walked in, it was revealed that he was like a fan of The Bachelor, because he was like, oh yeah, when he said I'm bringing Gabby over, oh, I said, yeah, I know Gabby from The Bachelor. So they talked a little bit, and then I thought it was cute because Eric was like, okay, to his grandparents, he's like, okay, you guys can go outside now. Like, what is this? You're sending your grandparents outside to play. So they had a very good talk. So afterwards, they went out to dinner. And this, to be honest with you, this is where I was like, at first going into this whole thing, I was like, I don't know about Eric. But this date turned it around for me, because Eric had said that he's falling in love with her, and she said that she's falling in love with him. Oh my gosh, the way that they just looked at each other and they kissed, and he grabbed her by her neck a little bit and kissed her, and I was like, yikes. But hey. But it was so sweet. And then after, just honestly, the two of them together was just lovely. I think I'm rooting for, I think I might be Team Eric for her guys. Just because of the fact that the other two were like, listen, I don't know that I can do this, but cheers. Let's keep going, because I want to travel. And she had said when she was leaving, she had said, this hometown could have changed my whole life. She's really, maybe, I think, seeing a life with him. And then, and in sad news, at the end of the episode, it said that it was dedicated to this man, and it was dedicated to Eric's father, because his father had passed from cancer, and that is just such sad news. He seemed like a very nice man, like just a gentle man. So my thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family, because that's just so sad. So those were the three for Gabby. For Rachel, first one she met, she went on a date with, to the hometown, with Zach in Anaheim. I thought it was awesome because he put a lot of thought into their date. They got on their bikes, they got on these bikes, and they rode over to this one building. They climbed up the stairs, and they sat on this roof of this building and watched the planes fly. They watched the planes take off. And I love that, because he thought about it, because that's what they talked about on their first date. On their first one-on-one, they talked about how their fathers, each of their fathers, would take them someplace and watch planes take off. And that's what they did. I thought that was very, very thoughtful. I just thought that was so sweet. So they went back to his parents' house. They met his mom, his dad, his sister, his aunt, and then his Uncle Pat. And he said, my Uncle Pat, who is just as funny in person as he is on his TV shows and movies. And I was like, well, who is Uncle Pat? But then I was looking on Twitter, and they were saying that he was the voice of Kronk in The Emperor's New Clothes. Well, I didn't see that movie, but I looked him up more, and he played David Putty on my second favorite TV show of all time, Seinfeld. So there we go. His uncle is David Putty. So they were, that to me, I think right now, in my mind, she needs to be with Zach. Zach is who she needs to be with. She fits in very well with the family. And yes, that's end of story. She needs to be with Zach. The second hometown she went to Wildwood, New Jersey. She met up with Tyler. This was awkward as shit can go. So they went on the boardwalk. They went to the boardwalk. They ate fried food. She was dressed like, I don't know if she told them she wanted to be dressed like Inspector Gadget, like minus the hat, but I don't know. If I can find a picture, I'll put a picture of the getup. I don't understand why she was dressed like that. So, you know, and they stopped off at this one place to get pizza, and all of his friends were there. And you could see that she was like, maybe like a little like, after that, after they met all these friends and everything, and they were talking about, you know, going and having the meetup with the parents, she went and talked to like a producer, and was crying, surprised. She was crying, was like upset and kind of crying and worried. And she said that there was just a different feeling between the last hometown date, which was with Zach, and Tyler's hometown. She doesn't feel like she's where she needs to be at this time with Tyler to continue on meeting the parents. She feels like she's like, they're so far behind. And then she says that she doesn't feel like she's had enough time to get to know him. Well, listen, and here's the reason why. Because if you had to cancel all these cocktail parties. Why did you need to cancel all these cocktail parties? You did not. Seriously. Logan, like for example, Logan was like, listen, I know I accepted the rose, gonna bounce. I'm into Gabby. I'm gonna go. So she spent the rest of the day crying and canceling her group dates. I mean, if you maybe wouldn't have canceled some dates and some parties, you could have got to know them. So, okay. Talks to the producer. She's crying. So they sit down on a bench. And I'm like, oh shit, what's she gonna do? Is she gonna tell him? Is she gonna break up with him? Oh my God. And what ensued was it was so awkward and cringy because, listen, I feel so bad for Tyler. However, listen, you can't pick up, come on, you cannot pick up on the signs that she is gonna drop you like a hot potato. No, there were all kind of signs, and he just kept on keeping on, and he was like, I love you. I can't imagine my life without you. Oh my shit, what am I gonna do? And she's like, okay. In her mind, you could see her being like, fuck, what am I gonna do? This is not good. She kept on, and she was like, listen, I know you said all that. You're amazing. And she said it before he even said, I love you. She was like, you're an amazing person. If somebody tells you, if you are in a relationship with somebody and they're like, you are an amazing person, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to be in Shitsville, honestly, that they're going to kick you to the curb. So he kept on keeping on. She broke up with him, got in the car, and was crying. At this point, come on. Don't start your asshole crying. You could have gotten to know him better if you would not canceled so many functions. Okay, so I'm thinking they're gonna cut this out. They're not gonna go back and meet the family. How could they? Nope, doubled down, went back. The family was like, I can't wait to meet her. I cannot wait to meet her. He's gonna be so happy. He walked in without her. And they were like, oh, we can't wait to meet Rachel. He's like, she's not coming. She broke up with me. I told her I loved her, and I still love her. And then that's it. And I was like, shit, you assholes. So now the last one that we had was Tino. I don't remember where he lived. Listen, I'm going to tell you, from the very start, I was like, ooh, Tino, I love him. I'm not 100% on him since last week. He's like, listen, this is going to go great. They're going to love you. She's like, I'm worried. He's like, they are going to love your ass. They're going to love you. She's like, I'm nervous. So they walked in, and I'm going to tell you, from the very second that they met her, they didn't like her. I guarantee you they were They were not in on this at all. The father, they are both very skeptical of this whole situation of like going in, knowing somebody for 20 minutes and then proposing, which true, it's crazy. But once again, that is the show. I mean, you're expected to go in, and the person who's picked at the end is expected to propose, and then they're expected to break up. We all expect them to break up. So when people stay together that were on The Bachelor and Bachelorette, we're like, shit, they stayed together? Really? But anyways, I digress. So the dad is talking with, his father is talking with Tino, and he was like, how can you propose after 5 weeks? Have you really gotten to know these people that much? And, you know, she's like, yes, we have. No. Once again, you canceled a lot of these, you know, cocktail parties. So no, not really. And then she was the dad was talking to Rachel, and his dad was like, tell me, since you know him so well, tell me what he's really like. And she's like, well, he lights up a room and people gravitate towards him. And his dad was like, listen, I know what you're doing. You're saying what needs to be said. I'm not buying this bullshit. That's not what he said, but that's what he said. Like, to be honest with you, his face and his mother's face looked like, listen, if I could choke this woman and I couldn't get a film, I would choke this woman. That's what I was getting. And to me, it felt like Rachel was back on The Bachelor, and she was pleading for her reality life to stay on this show. That's what it got like that's what it felt like to me. Like she was pleading for them to be like, like me, you know, oh, I'm good enough for your son. Screw that. So they left. Before they left, I don't think there was a hug. Maybe there was, but they get outside, and she was like, listen, I don't think that went well. He's like, I guarantee they adore you. She's like, they don't, they hate me. And also before they left, she was talking to the Brewsters and was crying again about how they hate me and this and that. What am I supposed to do? They hate me. He, meanwhile, is like, they loved you. They adored you. They loved you. She's like, they didn't. They wanted to stab me. She didn't say that, but to be honest with you, and then he said, I don't care. I love you. I'm falling in love with you. She's like, well, I've been falling in love with you the whole time, this and that. Now listen, I'm going to tell you this much right now. Please don't. Oh, no. Here's who you need to pick. You need to pick Zach, because his family doesn't want to burn your house down, okay? Listen, because if you take Tino and you get married, you're going to have to marry into that family. You already know that they don't like you. And I'm going to tell you, if that was me, I went in there and they didn't like me, and it was that level of not liking, I would be like, we're bouncing. We're getting out of this relationship. I'm not going to live in this family. No, thank you. So within the next few weeks, she needs to dump Tino and she needs to get with Zach. That's who she needs to get with. Now, Avon, I don't know. Avon might be good. So listen, at this point, it's Zach. Tino, no thank you. Douche canoe of the week for me is Jason. That's who I'm gonna say. Next week, we have Avon's hometown date with Rachel, and we have the men tell all. The men tell all is when they all get together and start screaming all at the same time in a room. At least that's exactly what the women do on the women tell all. And we get all kinds of like previews for the finale. So we'll see what happens. Everybody, I hope you have a great day. If no one else has told you yet today, I love you. You're loved, seen, and heard. Please make sure to put kindness, love, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there, because we all need it. And everybody have a great evening. I love you guys. Bye.